So today we are going to solve our quadratic equation by completing the square. So our equation today is x squared minus 6x plus 8. So back to yesterday's lesson, we could solve this by factoring quite simply. We draw our x, we put our negative 6 here and our 8 down here, and we find two factors that multiply to make negative 8 and add to make negative 6, which would be negative 4 and negative 2. Now, with that being said, we aren't going to continue that part. We are going to go ahead and just complete the square. So when you are completing the square, you take your b term and you take 1/2 of that b term, which is negative 3. So then you square that, and that equals 9. So once you get that term, you rewrite your equation, and it now becomes x squared minus 6x plus 9. Then you bring your 8 over here, and you also do the opposite of this term so that they can cancel each other out. But instead of canceling each other out, now we're going to work with this first equation, and we're going to factor it. Well, if you draw your x, then when you get done with that part, you should get x minus 3 times x minus 3. And then if you complete the second part of the equation, you get minus 1, because 8 minus 9 is negative 1. So this can also be wrote as x minus 3 squared minus 1 equals 0. So after that, you're going to go ahead and move your 1 over to this side. So you've got x minus 3 squared equals 1. So from here, the whole reason we complete the square is so that we can take the square root. So we are going to take the square root of both sides to get rid of that square with that x minus 3. So that square and that square root cancel out. So we're left with x minus 3 equals positive negative square root of 1. Now, the square root of 1 is 1. So we have x minus 3 equals plus or minus 1. So with that being said, now we set our term on this side equal to a positive and a negative 1. So we're going to have x minus 3 equals 1 and x minus 3 equals negative 1. So then we add 3, we have x equals 4. And over here we do the same thing. We have x equals 2. So that is how you